Okay, on to welding. Welding is pretty cool because it takes two shapes and makes them into one. Now, I can show you really easily with the basic shapes and then we'll use welding other times. But let's say we have a square, a circle, a heart, and a star. Okay, let's move these guys around. And let's say I want different colors first because these are just kind of ugly. So remember, this is how you change your color. You click on the item, then you click up here and you can change your color to anything you like. Right? Super cool. Okay, so there's my images. Now, we talked a little bit about grouping, right? Group just makes them move around here on this mat, all right? And ungroup, easy peasy. Attach means that they stay together here and they stay together on the cut mat, which means they're the same color. What about this? Let's say I want this heart and this circle to be joined together and become one image. So I'm going to come up here and I'm going to make sure I've aligned them. I always do that to make sure that you see that that's not what you want. I struggle with which align do I want, horizontal or vertical? And I usually test them out, and especially in the beginning classes, I show you that it doesn't matter. Just undo if it isn't what you wanted. So I want these two guys in the center, right? If I come down here, here's weld, and I say weld, now I have a bunny rabbit. I took those two shapes and created my own image, right? All right, let's try with the heart and the star. Let's bring the star up here. I need a little bit smaller. Select. And let's weld. And now I have a box with a point. I don't know why I'd want that, but you can see what happens. So instead of having two layers, they become one. Now I can undo if that was a mistake. And I'm back to a star and a box. Okay? So that's what weld is. And we have one more technique, one more skill to show you. And it is called slice. And that's down here. And you don't see anything highlighted because I haven't selected two items. You have to have two. You can only have two to slice, but you need at least two. I tend to use my square as a slicing tool. And let's say I want to cut this heart right in half. Now, ideally, you want the item that you're going to use as your slicing tool to be on top. Notice by the layers over here. So that means I have to come up to arrange. And I have to send it to the front. And now that is on top. And I'm going to select those two. And now see slice is lit up. I'm going to say slice. And now I have two pieces of heart. So I was able to slice the heart right in half. Well, why would I want to do that? I'm sorry, it's a star. Let's bring a circle in. Let's say I wanted a star on either side of my circle, like that. Right? Kind of looks like a medallion or something. I could do that. It allows you to change your images. What if you brought in a Cricut image? Let's go back to our free ones. And let's find something we can work on. Oh, let's say we have this skeleton. So we have the skull and then the crossbones, right? Well, that's cool, but what if I decided I wanted to put the skull on one part and I want to put this on another part? Now, I could cut it out and then I could move it around, but what if I wanted one to be a different color? Well, then I bring in my tool, my square, and I cover up the bones. I'm going to have a hard time because that mouth is there. I'll show you another way you can do it, but let's assume that that's going to work the way we want. We're going to select those two. We're going to say slice. And then I was able to get my bones. Now, see how these teeth are here? I can fix this. This is a little tricky, but I could if I wanted to. This uses all of our skills. So I'm going to get rid of this because that's my leftover pieces. I'm going to bring in a shape, and I'm going to bring in a circle this time. And I'm going to put the circle over those teeth parts that I kind of cut off and I didn't really want to. I'm going to select that. I'm going to slice again. And now I'm going to bring these guys back up here. Line them up perfect. I can try aligning and use the center when it might work. Oh, it did. See, they're pretty close. Now I'm going to select this whole thing and I'm going to weld. And now my teeth are back, right? So that's what all those little tools can do. Slicing and welding, attaching. They all let you do a little bit of different thing. Let's move this out of here. See, these guys are two different pieces. They're not together. So they're not going to stay where I put them. Like this worked pretty well, but I want them to stay yellow and I want this to stay, let's make this blue. So what I got to, here's where you're speaking Cricut. What am I going to tell it to do? Well, I don't want to have to line these up when I get later. So I'm going to take this out. I'm going to select these two guys and I'm going to say attach. Now they're not even touching, but when I say make it, they're going to end up on the yellow mat exactly the same way. So then I can cut these guys out. I can put this on top of the yellow and then I have them the way I wanted. So we have now done slice, and notice nothing is highlighted down here because I don't have anything selected. But we've done slice, weld, attach. We've got two more to do. See you soon.